This past weekend, the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and the ARCA Series headed out west for the final time in the West Coast Swing to race in the Phoenix Raceway. And let me tell you folks, the talking point is not about any of the races nor the race winners. It is about what happened off track, because on Saturday morning, Hendrick Motorsports and Colleague Racing, the 31 team, had their hood louvers taken away by the NASCAR officials. And at that point in time, it looked very bad, and it looked like they were going to have an incoming penalty later on the upcoming week, which they do. So, what happened here? So, Saturday morning, NASCAR takes their hood louvers, and later to find out they're modified by them, and it's not a part NASCAR gave them. And NASCAR is really strict on this, because a couple of years ago with the old car, NASCAR teams and drivers and owners were all having to pay more money. What I mean by drivers, I mean like BJ McLeod. He's a driver owner, but you get the point though. But they were having to pay more money for the car, and they were wanting to make it more affordable for everybody, so they went to the next gen car. But with the next gen car, a couple of teams like Hendrick Motorsports and RFK back in 2022 thought they can have a little bit of advantage if they made a part, which was running back to the issue why they ultimately decided they had the next gen car. So NASCAR's not playing around, and they're not giving a little slap on the wrist penalty. And what they're doing is very interesting here for Hendrick Motorsports, because they're not going to hurt any of Chase Elliott's Cup points, nor Josh Berry, because Josh Berry is an Xfinity driver, so you really can't blame him. But the Elliott part is kind of interesting. He did start 2 races this year with the hood louvers originally, so nothing happening to him. But what's happening to Kyle Larson in the 5 car, William Byron in the 24, Alex Bowman in the 48 for Hendrick Motorsports, and Justin Haley in the 31, but not the 16 of Allmendinger, however, his teammate. What's happening is each of them drivers are going to lose 100 points. And those are a lot of points right there to lose, because at the end of the regular season, remember folks, the top 10 gets playoff points. No matter if you're in the top 10 in the standings, you're going to get something. And this could affect you by a couple of positions. And they're going to lose that, and they're also going to lose 10 playoff points. So that's going to hurt, especially for William Byron, because his 2 race wins now, they still count, don't get me wrong, but they really mean nothing when it comes to the playoff point scenario. So there goes that. And on top of that all, this is the only thing that's going to hurt the 9 team, is that Alan Gustafson is going to be out for the next 4 weeks. So will Blake Harris is going to be out. Greg Ives was last year, but Blake Harris is going to be out for a little while. So will Rudy Fiegel, and Cliff Daniels is going to be out also. So Hendrick Motorsports has a steep hill to climb back on if they're wanting to make some noise heard by the start of the playoffs, because right now they're on the back foot of things. Even though they're the quickest car week in and week out, they got to make up a lot of ground, which I think they will eventually, but it's not going to come very easily, because you got Atlanta this weekend. After that, you go to Dakota, 2 tracks with a big unknown. And no matter how good a manufacturer is doing this year, these 2 tracks really don't require any success previously, like Vegas and Phoenix. Those stats right there from that race does not mean anything for these upcoming 2. And Hendrick Motorsports can be in a bad position heading into Richmond in 3 weeks' time. But that's what's happening to them. And Justin Haley, his crew chief suspended, fined $100,000, but not looking good for any of them teams. And on top of that all, we saw the last lap deal of Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain. Denny Hamlin lost 25 points and fined $50,000 because his little comments on his podcast. I like him for being honest, but that was dumb. That cost him $50,000. But enough said here. But everybody, don't remember to please like and subscribe and comment down below what you think about these actions made by NASCAR. I believe this is something they had to do, because if they didn't, teams would have kept on doing it and pretty much wasting the whole entire point of moving to the next gen car. Please like and subscribe.